What the hell you talking about? Since I'm the only thing to talk about, being here from the start. What's up, y'all? It's the Shot of Discourse. It's your boy Debtfreedeem, and I'm here with...
It's your girl, Yas, guys.
And your boy, Jamie.
So, interesting news that we just heard.
Yes.
Silicon Valley Bank has collapsed. Now, a lot of people may be wondering, first of all, why do I want to cover this? Why do I want to talk about this? And then also, how the hell do banks fail?
Yep.
It's really weird, but, you know, we did our hood research, hood investigations. And I think I have a very easy way to explain this, very easy way to understand this. And then I want to have a conversation about it, obviously.
Okay.
And now my wife asked me an interesting question, and she's wondering how to prevent this from happening or having a negative effect on us if we get to a certain stature of money.
Right.
I'm like, wow, that's wishful thinking. But, you know,
Speaking it into existence.
I really appreciate that. She has that much faith in me that I will be one of the top of the tops. So how do we protect our money in this situation? And I had an interesting concept of it. So let's get into it. So Silicon Valley Bank, in layman terms of how I understand this, they got a lot of money up front from these sexy companies.
Startup tech
firms. They came in with their venture capital, put it into the bank, and spent, right? One of the major issues that I noticed that a lot of people aren't talking about is that a lot of these companies reported losses. So they are sexy. They were the nice startup, but they didn't turn profit, right?
Right.
So they're not continuing to put money in. They're not raising as much money as they once did. And now they're pulling money as far as getting expenses out. So you're not seeing money really dip back into Silicon Valley Bank. Now, the confusing part of what's going on is that our banks practice fractional banking. You put in $1,000, right? And they'll take $999 and do something else with it and keep $1 in the bank. What do they do with the $999? From my understanding, they invest in different things. They give out mortgages. They buy bonds, right? And with the bonds are supposed to be a steady thing. They don't really go down in the industry. They hold like a steady interest rate. With mortgages, you hope to get people homes. They pay you interest, and that's how the banks make money. Also, ATM withdrawal fees, all that annoying stuff. They have their profits on what they make money.
Right.
All right. So what the hell happened? Obviously, we know that the Fed has been raising interest rates, right? So boom, to stop this recession, they're trying to boost the interest rates. What does that mean for the bonds? So as I understand, if you borrowed or you purchased a bond at something, you locked it in at this rate. So it has a value. If the interest rates for the bond rise, the value of your bond went down. So that's what happened. Interest rates are now here. The bond value is up because of interest rate, but your value that you bought it at a couple years ago went down. So now Silicon Bank, right? They reported a loss. Now let me ask you guys a question. If you heard that your bank lost money, or they said, "Hey, can somebody buy us?" what would your immediate thoughts be?
I have to get gas in my car to go to this bank to get my money. I need my money now.
I need to move my money.
I need my money.
So that's what is if you guys are, so I'm the bank, and if you guys want money from me, you're going to be hitting me up for money.
Yes.
You gave me $10. You gave me $10.
Yep.
You
I want my money.
You want $10. You want $10.
Yep.
I only got $2.
Well, you better figure it out.
So now I'm scratching, trying to pay you $2. This is a small, very small, simple explanation. I can't even get the 20 to give y'all. So now you're pissed off, right?
Absolutely.
So we have the FDIC, which will back your $10, right? We can get you the money, but I'm screwed. All the investments that I have are screwed. This is what we call a bank collapse. So basically what's happening, everybody's putting a run out on the bank because of the fear of, you know, they're trying to raise money. I think there's some conversation of them being up for sale. So that would scare some of the people that have money in that bank. So that caused the collapse. I don't know how we keep getting here with these banks.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't, I don't know. At this point, it's like, don't put your money in the bank.
Yeah, you got to bury it.
Not even that, because it can disintegrate and all of these things. Like, put it in a mattress, put it in your walls, like something up. Like, keep it on your person. Like, get a safe, put it in the safe in your house, and call it a day. Because at that point, the interest rates to where you gain money, interest on your money is terrible anyway. So you might as well keep it at your house and not give it to the bank. Not give it to them. And then the banks is like, now then they'll probably have to come up with new processes when it comes to mortgages and loans and all of these things. But if you have the cash, now I don't need a loan. I'm paying you cash for it.
Is it practical? Is it practical that we could live without the bank?
Yeah.
How so? What do you mean?
Because why do we need it?
This is a good. I like where the conversation.
Like why do we need it? What do we need it for?
It's convenience.
Right.
Everybody loves convenience, right?
Yeah.
So then you got your Visa, your debit card. Mm-hmm. You don't have to carry money around. Mm-hmm. People are less likely to rob you because. Mm-hmm. But as I sit here, I think that's a facade. I think convenience shouldn't be the answer for these banks. And I'm not saying everybody should take their money out the bank. I think there's a reason for it, but I don't think you should have all of your money in a bank. The way that so my wife asked me, she said, "Hey, what should we be doing hearing this news?" And I'm like, "Well, we keep doing what we're doing." And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, money needs to be moving. Mm-hmm. Like one comment was, bury the money. Yeah. But guess what's going to happen when you bury the money? It could disintegrate, right? Yep. Put it in a safe. What could happen is that you could probably get robbed, fire in your home. Like it's better now in these days to keep money because nobody's going to know. Like I could have a safe of $250,000 in here, and none of y'all would know unless I told you. Mm-hmm. If I'm stupid enough to let you know, then I'm opening myself up to robbery. So now I could probably keep my money here, but what's this other safer route? It's to make money flow, to keep money moving. And as I was thinking about this, I was like, okay, if I just keep buying homes, or I keep buying cash flow assets, or I keep buying things that hold value, and I'm scratching my head at what are things that hold value. Right. You're less likely to be in these situations. Like I could have gold bricks, but somebody could steal my gold bricks. Yeah. But it's less likely to happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, property. You have. I think the best idea in terms of property. I think it holds value very well, like as an asset and a cash flowing asset.
But the flip side of it is those properties probably are invested in a bank. So now if that bank, again, is still going to affect you. Yeah. Because if you put your money into this property and now you trying to do whatever, and that bank that has that money from that property or whatever goes down, you're not getting paid.
Well, that would be beneficial to me let's say I have a mortgage with Silicon Valley Bank or Bank of America. Bank of America goes down, they would sell. Actually, they're going to sell my loan.
They're going to sell it to somebody else.
Right.
On fractions of the dollar. Right. I could potentially buy my loan. Right. Okay. If I had money, but we don't really practice that. Right. Exactly. So another bank would buy my loan and then I continue my mortgage. Right. Or Bank of America would lose my paperwork and
and you got a free house.
I got a house. This is what you say? You see what I'm saying? So it seems still beneficial. It's not bulletproof, but I think it's still beneficial that real estate is one of the things where I'm like, if you own a home, you really can't lose. And one of the things I even want to have a conversation about today is a residential property a bank. Is anyone thinking of a home as an asset that's a bank?
I mean, technically, a small, tiny bank.
Because you're bank rolling an income. So I think that people are looking at, okay, this is going to bring this amount of income for me, monthly or whatever the case may be.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a small, tiny bank. If you think of it, like say you have a 2-3 bedroom house that it's fully paid off. It cash flows you, what we talking about, 16 a month. So now you got that monthly income. It's also fully paid off, so you can put loans out on. You can put another mortgage on it.
You see what I'm saying? So but I want everybody to really get this point, right? If you treated your house like a bank, you would operate very differently. You would take your excess income and deposit it into the bank.
Back into the
right?
bank.
You wouldn't go and be frivolously spending if that was the case.
That's true.
So I don't think people understand what you just said. Like, if you paid down your house and you had equity, I could always borrow and do something in case of something.
Yeah.
Just like you could borrow from the bank.
Yeah.
So I would be like, yo, if people really just paid their house off faster to access the full value of their home and then just wait,
Yeah.
you could potentially be borrowing $100,000,
True.
buying another house. So now this is paid off, and you just bought another house you could live in, and then you move somebody here,
Right.
and they're paying this mortgage,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then you still have your income from here.
So it comes.
So then you could just pay this one faster.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Go
but
ahead.
in that case, the first house you would to get the 100,000. Now you have
Yeah.
you would have a mortgage on it.
The first 100. So when you're in this first house,
First house, so it's paid off.
you got to pay this one off.
Yeah, got it.
And what I'm saying is, I think people should treat just the way they get a check.
Yeah,
They should be treating that house as if it's the bank and pay that faster than 30 years,
yeah,
faster than 15, and focus on paying off that property. I think even when we and we're going to go into a tangent, but even having kids as parents, we should probably be thinking about, other than aside from college funds, buying a bank for our kid. And I
House,
think it's a
bank,
house.
A bank. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a post the other day. It's like, yeah, you should buy a house for your kid. It was like, yeah, like every kid I had, I bought a house. Like
Sounds nice.
I have houses,
Because it's an investment, and
Yeah,
is also,
it's gonna grow.
It's also going to bring in
Correct.
money.
I've
for them.
also, so just being from where I'm from, I wanted a stable house for my children.
Right.
I wanted something. So my Jackson's 5. I wanted a property fully paid off by the time he's 18, so that push comes to any shove,
If he
we
always
know
has- yep, he always has somewhere to
he
go.
has somewhere to go.
Yeah.
That's it. Or like, another guy, he made a post. He was like, yeah, like, I bought a house near like a university.
Yeah.
So I think he put it in his son's name. So he put it in his son's name. His son is making money off of this property that he lives in, going to school, that other
Yeah.
kids are
people
staying in as well, getting
Yeah.
rental income. I was just like, it's crazy. It's a great idea. I think more people need to think of, like you said, I think people need to aggressively go after their mortgage
Right.
instead of putting money into the bank.
And they have to put themselves in positions to do this.
Yeah,
too.
and I think the bank conversation is very important. I'm glad you brought it up because I think people don't purposely use their money. Because we talked about this before. Like, your money, every dollar that you have should have a purpose.
Correct.
Should have a goal. Should
Yep.
if your goal is set up, it should have, hey, I'm sitting this aside here. The excess stuff, you need to put it somewhere. Money that doesn't have a goal is useless.
Right.
Sitting in a bank, useless too.
That's true.
Right. And this is why, I mean, I thought this event was crucial for us to like talk about. And I don't think people in our community understand what happened. And thank God it's not in a major, it's a major bank, but it's not like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, where
Right.
everybody's pretty much in jeopardy, right?
Yep.
I think everyone should take this lesson to say, how can I create a banking system for myself? And I think I know where Jamie's head is going to go with insurance. And I don't even want to get there yet. I don't want to get there yet. If you want to talk about it and bring it up, we can. But I think the first level of creating a banking system for yourself is an asset that you can borrow against. And I think real estate might be the safest vehicle.
And the real
to
estate
do
can
that.
be affected by the market, as we like
Absolutely.
positively and negatively. Yeah.
But remember, if we take this simple use case of somebody having a residential property, it's $100,000 today. They buy it, they pay it down in 5 years. Let's say it goes down to $75,000. They don't have a payment because they paid it off.
Right.
Taxes.
Okay, taxes and insurance. You're right. It's smaller than the principal and interest. Small, and we didn't say they lost their job, right? So their payment is principal and interest. Their payment is taxes and insurance. They don't have things like PMI, principal or interest, right? So they could maintain that. Nothing happened with their job, but their house fell $25,000. Everybody would look and be like, "Damn, what the hell, Kadeem?
Right.
You're an idiot. Dave Ramsey's stupid." but then you still have 75,000 to tap into.
Yep.
And you can now buy another property that went down. You could take out a HELOC and buy another crappy property that suffered.
Probably cover your. You'll probably get you back. You might get back to 90. If that's
No. Let's just say you get another 75. Let's say you get another 75 property. Yeah. Because it's the 100,000 back then. You buy the 75 and you practice the same behavior. Because remember, now you got a new principal interest that might be higher than the 100,000, but you pay it off. Let's say it takes 7 years because you're disciplined. So you paid this one off in 5. It took another 7 to pay this one off. But by that 7, both properties are now 150,000. You just netted 100. What we said, 200 grand, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't think people are understanding that potential in the game, and then really freeing them. I think the first thing people should do is free themselves up from principal and interest in order to be in this type of scenario.
You said a key word in terms of discipline.
Yep.
People don't have the discipline to do some of these stuff. Like to honestly save, to be patient with that process.
Or some of them don't even have the ability to do it because everybody's not working jobs where they can
like say stable job,
afford to be able to save for anything. Like you're literally living
check to check,
paycheck to paycheck. So like,
okay,
it's it sounds great, and I wish that we all could take heed to it, but we have to sit and think like most of us probably can't.
I would love to agree that there is an economic situation where someone can't get out of it. You know, I would love to be in that worrisome.
You don't think so?
Thought. I can't think like that, and I never have. Right. Mm-hmm. I think that everything is a decision. Mm-hmm. Right. You have a yes or a no to everything you do in life. So, if, like for instance, I'm on Lent, I'm not drinking. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna go out with my homie and have a good time.
Right.
Right. I could still do that, but I just don't have to have a drink.
Yeah.
So
it's modified.
Guess what? I probably bought a protein bar after the club, and I spent $16 on parking. That's a good night.
That's a great night.
When you look at the tail of the tape for Debtfreedeem.
True.
And this month is a month of just like doing repairs for our properties, getting ready for the spring, recovering from the harsh winter, paying some stuff off from the repairs that we had to do, potentially looking at another deal that we want to get into. But it's because of the sacrifice we did for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
Not taking a flight, not going out, not doing so, and we did certain things.
You're saying heavy words so lightly, and I think people, what you understand, people are not. A lot of people
in
not
your
built
position.
like you said. Sacrifice.
Yeah, but
again, people don't know how to sacrifice.
Here's my question though, everybody knows how to sacrifice.
No,
they don't know. They don't want to sacrifice.
That's what
Jamie.
I'm saying.
Jamie, let me say it again. Everybody knows how to sacrifice. They just don't want to practice the They don't want to do it.
I think I would say everybody knows what sacrifice means.
They
know
need
what
to
it
make.
Means.
They just don't know, or they don't want to know how to do it. Like they know what it means to sacrifice, but they're like, I'm not doing it.
Think about this, Kadeem. And it probably was this year where I really realized it, that sacrifice is necessary to achieve something of value. People do not know that. We take it granted. People do not know that.
That's crazy.
People, I think, honestly, I lived through a life where sacrifice is bad. Why would I want to sacrifice something? That sounds so crazy to me.
It has a negative connotation.
Yes. Why would I want to sacrifice?
And it's like,
something?
why would I sacrifice my sanity to do whatever
sacrifice
for a
sanity?
few?
There you go.
Like some people think about that.
Like that.
I have to sacrifice my sanity for 6 months to be able to hopefully put myself in a position to be better off in a year.
Want me sacrifice my fun? Are you crazy? Sacrifice my living? No.
Like for some people, like if it's like, all right, so let's take me for instance. When I got accepted into nursing school, it was an accelerated program. I had to sacrifice. I had to quit my job. I had to move out of my apartment and move in with my parents. So a lot of people would have never did that. They would have never been able to do that. I know what sacrifice is. I had to sacrifice that because in my mind it's like, all right, I have this support system. I'm not going to be able to maintain my household, take care of my child, take care of myself, and everything else while I'm in school full time. It's an accelerated program. It's 15 months. That's all I'm thinking. 15 months of sacrifice. But for when I tell people that, they like, yo, how'd you do? I would have never been able to do that. So they don't get it. Like they not think about that. They don't want to do that. Like they know the definition of sacrifice. So they're like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that.
They don't want to do it. Like if you want a car,
I'm doing that.
If you want a car today, you go to work. You continue to work. There's no sacrifice. You go to work, continue to work, and until you get enough money to buy that car, you buy the car. Cool. But if you want a fully paid off car, you have to sacrifice something. Like you know what I'm trying to say? Like people just want the bare minimum. A lot of times they don't want. What you're talking about is great things. Yep. To achieve greatness, you have to sacrifice. To what she did, she had to sacrifice.
So
realize some people don't want to.
So this is the thing. I think when we're looking at both the car situation and the accelerated program, you identified what you have to sacrifice. Mm-hmm. I think when it comes to finances, people just have a harder time identifying what to sacrifice.
True, because they feel like certain things are a necessity.
So the
like,
car,
I need this.
Yeah, the car thing. It's like if I put 100, if somebody told you like this, yo, you know that if you put $100 extra a month, you could save this much in interest, and you could probably, instead of paying your car off in 6 years, you pay it off in 4. Some people would be like, man, that $100, yo, I need groceries, I need blah blah, I need blah blah. And I'm like, well, if you cut your Xfinity cable, if you did. No, I'm just, that. But I'm. No, that's what they said. No, I ain't doing that. And that's the part where I get frustrated. I need my cable. Right. That's where I get frustrated. It's like, hold on. You need NFL Red Zone. You need the plus package on your TV.
Again, I'm trying to take, like, I get what you're saying. The needs of these, you can't understand the needs of these people. I agree.
No. I can't. So no, here's the thing. You're right, because some people. Like my vices are different from other people's vices, right? So, some people might just want to. I can't even think about it because like anything I put my mind to and I have a goal of, I will sacrifice almost anything to accomplish my goal.
Your conviction to your goals,
yes,
is on a different level. Everybody, I think, not everybody. A lot of people that do have goals. Right. You set the goals, you try to go after the goals. Mm-hmm. Your conviction to it is like you say, you would sacrifice anything. Some people are just like, I'm going to sacrifice this, I'm going to sacrifice that.
And I'm going to make it work.
Interesting. Good point of working out. Let's say I want to lose 30 pounds. Some people are like, I'm just going to go to the gym. Some people are like, I'm going to go to the gym and diet. Some people, I'm going to go to the gym, diet, and cut off my arm to lose this weight. Your conviction to your goals is crazy. Some people know, hey, I want my goal. I just don't want it really that bad.
Okay, so now in that conversation, we can edit things. We can say, okay, instead of where I would probably want to pay my house off in 8 years, you take 15. You don't have to take a 30-year note.
I agree.
Right? Yeah. So we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yo, you don't have to put 3.5 down on a house. You know you can put 20. You know you can put 25. You know you can put 30. Boy, yo, what's gonna take me so long to get a house? It's gonna put you in a better situation.
Back to the patience, discipline.
But I'm giving you alternatives. I remember I started from 3.5 all the way to 20, 25. I would if in a coaching situation, I would just assess where you are, right, and then say, yo, you know you could do this. Like if you really put your head down, you could do this. And then some people just have that spark. Well, damn, I didn't even think about it like
right.
that.
You just need to like write
and
it
sometimes,
out
like I said in the beginning of this conversation, some people don't even know what to sacrifice before they can get to it. And it could be small changes like, yo, in 2 months you accrued like $50 in ATM withdrawal fees. Why you keep going to this thing? Well, every time I go to the hair salon, my lady want cash and she got the ATM there, and I'll be doing it.
Then take the cash out.
But until I have that this is where I meet people in the middle. To your point, I have to have a conversation to say, well, when do you go to the hairdresser? I'll be going on Tuesdays. I'll be running late. I was like, so when you go to the grocery store on Sunday, you know you could possibly pass by this free ATM and get your money out.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that was there. Boom, $50. Now let's take the 50. Let's take the 50 and pay your credit card off a little bit faster. Now the credit card's gone. Let's take the credit card and that and pay your car off. Yep. And then now that we got that out the way, let's save for a house. But you know what people gonna tell me? Damn, I got the 50. Yo, you know what I could do now? I've been wanting to go to Miami. Yo, my birthday coming up. Yo, you know what I'm saying? That's drink money. This is where I'm like, the sacrifices are weird. You know what I'm saying?
Because any extra bit of money that a lot of people get, they find something.
They gonna find a way, bro.
Besides paying towards something good.
Sacrifice.
I break it down. Conviction of goals, man. Everybody has them. It's just how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? And I've seen situations. I speak for it in my life. Like, I have goals, but I can personally look back to it as like, I really didn't want it that bad, or I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is where, like Jamie said, I have a weird perspective, yo. I hear Silicon Valley Bank collapse, I'm immediately thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna ever make that much money where it's like I'm not even FDIC insured. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm scared. Like, no, it's nothing like that. But my money always has to be in motion. And the other thing I was like really realizing is like, yo, the game is so crazy where everything is just fake borrowing. Yep. If you start realizing everything is this fractional thing where like money's not real. Like when you, and I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm like, yo, how much money you think is in the world? Like printed money that has value. We just believe in the paper. But like if there are things that we provide as services that are more important. So like I'm providing a service to people living in a place, having warmth, water, and all this other tangible things. The moment you start hitting the switch and be like, stop chasing money and start chasing services and things that you could provide in the world, man, that's when it's going to go crazy for you.
Yeah, I agree.
It's going to go crazy.
I agree.
It's going to go crazy. So now, other than real estate, do you guys think there's anything else that could be bank related or... Because I'm really trying to change y'all mind about...
Bank related.
I want y'all goals to be as crazy as mine.
I mean, you could try, like,
I mean, you could give it a go. Give it a go.
I want it. Yo, today is the day, son. Today's the day.
You could give it a
go.
Look at a bank failed.
I understand. I hear you. And now it's like, all right, well.
Back to what I was doing.
No, it's like, let me get my money out. Let me get my little bit of coins.
Yeah.
Get my little bit of coins out the bank and figure something else out to do with my money. Because I don't want it there. Because God forbid something happens to my bank. Now I can't get access to my money that I work hard for. And I'm trusting this facility to hold my money.
But
let me do it myself. Can I wager my money like they do and gamble with my money? Because that's what banks do.
This is what I'm trying to tell you to do, though.
There's so many. I mean, there are.
Yeah, but I don't have that amount of money.
You can if you just sacrifice.
Yes, I know. But I understand. I am not unfamiliar to sacrifice. I understand I may not sacrifice the way everybody else does or whatever the case may be. I'm not unfamiliar to sacrifice. But what I'm saying is even the little bit of coin that I have in the bank is at jeopardy. That's terrifying to think that if I got $7,000 in the bank, that's $7,000 that if I needed it and that bank goes down, I got to wait for my money. I should not have to wait for my money. Y'all didn't wait to put it in
This is great. Just follow me here. Let's say we didn't have the FDIC. Let's say you wouldn't get that $7,000 back. Would you keep it in the bank?
No.
What would you do with that $7,000?
I don't know. I got to figure it out. At this point, it's going to be on my body.
Let's talk through it.
It's on my body. It's on my person. It's at home in the meantime until I figure out.
But talk to somebody that's listening. Like what? Let's work it out. Like so what would you do?
I'm going to keep my money for now until I get to a point where that money can get me something. Like if it's $7,000, until that $7,000 can provide me something that can make money, I am going to keep it on my person and keep adding to that. So instead of it being in the bank and me saving at the bank, I'm saving at home.
So the goal of the $7,000 is to buy something that's going to appreciate in value.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I think paintings, like artwork, I think does that very well.
You would buy a painting.
I'm not saying what I would do. I don't know yet.
I want to know what you would do.
Like I said, I'm thinking
What would
about
you
this certain
do?
thing.
I'm not spending $7,000 on nobody painting.
Thank you.
Because
Why
I'm
not?
painting it myself. I can paint it myself.
No, what I'm saying is, all right, let's say in a situation.
Because who's going to buy it?
But you could sell it. So artwork, it does appreciate in value pretty well, and I think they have some type of tax deferment with artwork or whatever. But let's say you bought a painting for $7,000, which you knew in a year was going to be worth $8,000. But like it would gain, it's not going to lose value. That's what you want to do with that $7,000 instead of keeping that on your person or putting it in the bank. If you, like you said, you don't want to use a bank, you would have to buy something.
You would do that.
I mean,
I'm not being funny. I'm asking.
No, I wasn't laughing at him the way he didn't answer the question.
You wouldn't do that.
'Cause he's right.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
sounds like you wouldn't do that.
Let me spin it, and I'll give you time, because I'm making this up as I go right now. I think what I would do is I would take $7,000, and I would try to buy. If I have a car, I would buy another car for less than $7,000. Right? I would find somebody in a crazy situation and make them rent that car from me.
and make them.
I'm not doing that either. That's not. I'm not doing that either.
Check it out. So
I hear you.
listen, if I could somehow not sell the car, I'm gonna make somebody rent the car from me, and I don't mean force them. What I mean is, if they're in a messed up situation, I'm solving their problem. You need transportation, you need wheels, you don't have the credit to get it. Okay, how about you give me $300 a month, no money down, and you could drive this car.
No,
What do you mean no?
I don't trust people. I trust that painting
from what
on my
side?
wall.
From what side?
Huh?
From what side?
The person that's gonna
renter.
rent the renter.
Okay, so then you vet the person. You make sure that they're not somebody that can't.
And now you're getting it to a point where it's like that's too much work. So this is where people would
Fam,
say,
all right,
like,
yeah. You see,
nah.
but check it out. This was just so crazy. So now I got something that's gonna make me $300, right? And I think I could get more. I honestly think I could get more, because a lot of people's car payments is not $300, right?
Sure is not.
Let's say I just add that person on the, and once again I'm thinking about it, and I don't know if this is true. I add them as additional insured on my insurance.
Yeah,
I rent them the car.
I think you could.
And a matter of fact, I'll make it bi-weekly payments so I get the most out of their check. So if I could get $200 from you every 2 weeks, that's what I'm gonna tax you. So it's $400 actually. I'm just gonna make it an easy number for you to see on your check. Now I'm gonna install a kill switch in the car and a GPS. Cause like I said, I'm taking less than the 5,000. I'm buying the car for less than the 7. So then I'm gonna hit my mechanic, put these things in. I can always see where my car is on GPS. This person, go ahead. The technology exists.
All right, yeah. You said you're not gonna buy. You can't buy the car for semantics. So you can't buy it for $7,000 because you got to put that stuff on it.
I'm not buying it for 7. I'll probably buy it for 4 or
and
5.
Then you're gonna put that stuff on it.
Yeah.
All out of pocket cost.
7 maybe. So now I got a $7,000 thing driving around, paying me $400 a month. Now, when everything gets back to normal and maybe I trust the banks a little bit more, I could sell the car. I might take a little bit of loss, but I was making $400 a month.
2 issues here.
Hit me.
Return on investment. How long is it gonna take you to get back that $7,000?
I'm not trying. No. I'm not trying to make the 7. I'm just cash flowing.
What?
Think about it. So whatever, the car's gonna hold a value, right?
Not a good value.
Yeah. So do that math. How much you think the car's gonna lose?
As soon as it walks off that lot.
I mean, well, one.
Let's do it.
This
How
is
much?
clearly a used car.
Correct.
Used car. Let's say you bought it at
I'm gonna say $2,000.
$6,000. Like you.
No, I want to buy it at 5 or 4. I want a good running vehicle.
A good running vehicle is not 5 or 4,000.
I promise you, we could get off this podcast. I'll find a car right now for $5,000. You crazy?
Jesus.
I bought some crazy cars. My Toyota Camry hybrid was $3,000.
Jesus.
Stop it. Exactly. Don't play with me. Check it out.
Don't play with it.
If I put
Jamie, don't play with it.
and when you look at the value of the car, after I bought that car in 2017, and I gave it to my sister, I could have got $2,500 for the car.
Seriously.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. I've totally no. In the last situation will be the car we gave Naomi. Like I completely undervalued how much that car was worth.
You could have sold it and made money and put it on another product, but you could have did what I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
So now look, boom. Now I made $400 a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not losing $400 of value a month on the car. The car still holds the value.
But I'm saying it's so return on investment. Like you say, you paid out of pocket. We agreed.
How much you want to say?
Out of pocket, you said was $7,000.
Correct.
Right. It's going to take you time for that car to cash flow you back to your $7,000. Like that's where I'm at.
You have your phone?
Yeah.
Divide 400 by the 7,000, or even if you do it for a year, that's $4,800 I made on a $7,000 car.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's a crazy good investment.
17.5.
So that's 17% of a return. That's pretty good. If I had the $7,000 in the bank, it wasn't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
we just solved it.
We solved it by buying
buy
and you know who I put in the car?
For $3,000.
Probably a stripper.
Probably a stripper.
Wait, hold
they
on.
getting cash like
Wait,
that.
time out. Wait.
They getting cash like that.
You mean an actual stripper or like is that a?
I wouldn't. No,
part?
not like a stripper car. Like, it'd be. That's the profession.
Not like a stripper car.
That's the profession.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
The car comes with a stripper.
Nah.
That's what I'm like. Wait,
That's probably the target demographic. They getting cash fast. They don't got the credit.
Oh, you mean
and you
like
want a
the
car?
actual?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You gonna put an actual stripper?
Yes.
That would be my target
so you're
customer.
gonna rent?
Why?
Oh gosh.
Because they can't get conventional.
First of all, a stripper
credit.
is not going to pull up to the. A stripper is not pulling up to the strip club in a hoopty.
Yeah.
They need a Benz.
You'd be surprised.
I'm just saying.
You'd be surprised.
They need a Benz.
You ain't stripping because life is good.
I mean, unless they're looking at.
If you pulling up in the new Dodge Durango, life is pretty good.
How many people are buying Benzes? Are Benzes on sale? Like
there's a different style of Benzes coming out that is more affordable.
Yo, I'm like the amount of people that I keep seeing with Benzes, and it's crazy because it's a lot of nurses, and I'm like, I'm a nurse. Right, and I'm looking at my paycheck, and I'm like,
she said, wait a minute.
I'm looking at the cost of living, and I'm doing the math. The math is not mathing.
You don't know the value of the car. That's what I'm saying. Go and find out.
She said, wait a minute.
You can buy one of them new Benzes for $22,000.
It's a base model?
No. Leather. First of all, Benzes don't come in nothing but like.
What Benz are you buying for $22,000?
I guarantee. This is why I love women. This is why I love women. Y'all don't know anything about cars.
No. I know a lot about cars, but what I'm saying is when I think of a Benz, I've never thought that there was a Benz that was going to be.
That's what I'm saying.
That's brand new, used, and that's probably
I could show you a 2015 Benz. You be like,
oh yeah, 2015.
Nice.
That's fine.
That's
older.
That's 8 years old. But it still look nice, and it pull up in the lot. You like, golly.
And
you're saying foreign things to a lot of people. They heard 8 years old. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah. But if I just showed it to you, you'd be like, wow.
And
exactly.
A lot of people see the car I drive, and they be like, wow, that's a nice, clean car. So they don't know how old that joint is.
I did not know you paid $3,000 for that car.
Exactly.
Yeah, he said that to me.
Look, so I will give the audience. So I used to drive a Toyota Camry hybrid, and I got in a car accident, and I got a check. I didn't spend all the check on the car because I was like, that's dumb. That
is dumb.
This is going to student loans. This is paying something off. So I took that money and I was like, what car have I always wanted? I always wanted a hybrid. And I was like, Toyota Camry got the best hybrid out. So I looked for an old one. That joint probably had 175,000 miles.
That's old.
Everybody would look at me like, yo, you're stupid. No, I was like, nah, I'm in there. Had a weird smell. I think it was like Uber driver was driving that joint. Cleaned it out, freshened up. $3,000. I think he charged me like $3,250.
Where you get it from?
Craigslist.
Yeah.
I do wild things for wild results, and I drove that car. Never broke down. Never had a problem.
It's also your risk factor is certain things that you trust is like that could have been the crappiest. It could have broke down on you the day after you bought it.
And you
Why?
Got it off Craigslist. So
it's a great car.
So then what were you going to do? You wasn't going to be able to return it.
I'd fix it.
What I'm saying is that I get your point now because you lived it and it worked out well for you.
Don't do that again. Bad. Don't do that again.
Well, I'm at a different place. We're balling now.
Y'all heard him say it. You heard him say it.
Listen, y'all. I don't know if you know, but we're balling now.
Yeah, don't Craigslist.
But yeah, I would buy a lot of stuff off Craigslist still. But okay, so the lesson of this, right, is like, I don't think
find other things to invest in.
People in our community, right?
Yeah.
I don't, and yes, don't look at the bank as an investment. Don't look at keeping money at one place as a safe measure. Your money should always be moving. If I could just do a recap, put money into your investments, which is your 401k, max that out. Then if you first if you have any debt, clear that out. We don't do debt. Debtfreedeem. The next thing is investments. That should be maxed out. If you still have more money, that should be savings to get another investment outside of your 401k. Mm-hmm. And I think would be mutual funds. I would try to get into real estate as much as possible with that excess money. And then that's when your journey starts. I think everyone in America should own an investment property.
Then pay your bills.
That's last.
I mean, I'm saying, like, people got this shit backwards just from the start.
That's a good point. Like, once your debt is eliminated, the first thing you do is pay yourself, which I think is the 401k or whatever your investments are. I also think you should be saving towards some other type of investment vehicle outside of your 401k, and then you pay your bills.
Yeah, people don't pay themselves first.
That's the first thing should come off.
First of all, a lot of people don't even have a 401k.
True.
Yikes. Damn, I guess we got to plan an episode on that, right?
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I was going to say, I was letting you finish your thought, but I was like, you're speaking a lot of foreign language to a lot of people.
So we'll break it down. I think one episode we should really focus on the steps, but Dave Ramsey has a very good 7 baby steps program, and I think y'all should check it out.
Yeah,
IULs are nice.
Don't do IULs, folks.
Wow. And that's been a shot of discourse. You guys have
It's been a shot of discourse. It's your boy Debtfreedeem, and I'm here with
it's your girl, Yas, guys.
Your boy Jamie.
All right, thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe. Holla at your boy.